Are you ready to set more meetings and close more deals via email? I certainly am. That's why I'm making this video here today. We're going to break down sales templates starting at the top of the funnel. How do we get a prospect to actually open the email, take our meeting? Middle of the funnel, how do we do effective follow-up after our discovery? And then finally, bottom of the funnel, how do we follow up with our prospect to actually finalize the contract and get them to sign off and win the deal? I'm going to share my screen here in a moment and walk through these email templates that I prepared here today. Just note that there's no one definitive strategy of if you start doing this subject line today with no capitalizations, only 3 words, they're magically going to take all of your meetings. There's no one trick that's going to magically turn everything around. The key to effective email is consistency and try to do some personalization and volume. Everyone always says, do I do no customization at all and try and send as many emails as possible, or do I send less emails but really try and customize deeply? You want to find a balance of both, and the way to do effective balanced strategy is by having pre-built templates that you can quickly and easily pipe in new data from the prospect's LinkedIn page, from the company website, just very quickly so that you can start to send out as many emails as possible, and that will turn everything around, because as you start getting responses via email, that just starts to open up doors that you never thought were possible before. If you're looking to improve your email response rate, make sure to leave a like on this video now, and it absolutely 100% will help.
Welcome to my computer. We have 11 hyper-persuasive sales email templates queued up for you here today. I got this template from gong.com. Fantastic hub and resource for all salespeople, so make sure to go check them out. We're going to break down emails starting from prospecting, how do we set meetings, to finally, how do we multi-thread, to how do we negotiate, to how we close the deal. I know that that's what you guys care about. Hopefully, one of these stages will catch your eye, and perhaps you can take some of the tips from this video to improve your own sales practice as well. Just note, it's all about iteration. And let's start with email template number 1, the prospecting email. This is where I think most people, including myself, need help. As we think about the prospecting email, this is the number 1 template for your sales cadence. So start with this email right here. First and foremost, they have the nice graphic, cold emails. Ask for interest, not the meeting. So when you ask, are you interested? That looks like it has a higher set rate than saying, are you available at XYZ time? But we'll get to that. So the subject line, losing winnable deals. So Gong sells to sales leaders. So that catches their eye because that's a pain point. If your pain point is to IT leaders, mitigate IT risk. Or if you're selling to HR people, losing quality candidates, retention, for example. So figure out what subject line. I've heard based on my research, 3 words tend to be good there. And we're playing into loss aversion. So we're getting deep in their brain before they even open the message. I already feel the pipeline starting to brew up. So starting right here, I'm seeing subject line. So it looks like there's 2 different subject lines actually. So you could play into loss aversion or specific benefit. You're going to have to pick and choose what you like most. Hi first name is pain point for XYZ persona, stopping your team from reaching your goals. Imagine being able to top use case for persona to improve positive outcome. So we'll break this down in a moment. As I research Tesla, XYZ company, I see one big way where Tesla can boost your team's performance. Oh, buyer company, okay. Workflow, so you can benefit. I noticed you recently company news. Does this make sense to discuss positive outcome for your team? Okay, guys, a lot to break down here. So starting right here is use these words that sell. Would you, words like you, your, and imagine. So that's the key takeaway right here. Use words that sell. You, your imagine. As we get into this template right here, guys, you're going to have to do some work, but ultimately just note that the purpose of a template, as we said, is to scale your effort. Figure out and understand who is your persona. Who are you selling to? That's number 1. Number 2 is what do they care about? So understand, why does it matter? What is stopping them from being able to do what they care about? And then your solution, what is the positive outcome it produces? Does it help them mitigate risk? Does it help them reduce costs? Does it help them make more money? Understand the prospect, understand the common pain points, and the more you do this, the easier you'll be able to pipe in specific to your company what this means, why it matters. So just note that this is the initial template right here. And the final thing, the call to action. Does it make sense to discuss positive outcome for your team? So we're not asking, are you available, or what is your availability? We're saying, does it make sense to discuss? We're doing an interest-based CTA. I really like this template. Someone sent me this and I read through it and I said, oh, that sounds really good, but I didn't actually do anything about it. Now that I'm reading through this now and starting to talk through this with you guys, I'm actually going to use this. This seems really solid. It seems really short, straightforward. We're going to have to figure out the subject line. This seems really straightforward as well. There's just a little bit of work to be done in the middle here, and that's something I'm going to think about, so I'd encourage you to take a look at this. Prospecting follow-up. So it sounds like follow up on your first email with a quick note. Here's a big mistake I see so many reps making, including myself. The second follow-up exclusively says, following up on the previous note, what is your availability? Or it says, apologies for the multiple emails, like, do you want to talk? Something ridiculous like this. I'm actually curious what this says. So subject, reuse email one subject line. So you could also, if you're using a sales tool like Outreach, you could just send this second email on the existing thread. So that's my approach right there. That's what I would probably do. I hope you've been well. Keep it simple. Yeah, that keeps it simple. I'm curious if you have considered insight. You want to be informative. Is this insight useful even if they don't buy from you? Adding value. That's what this is all about. And customer story. Tell a story. So we're selling to Tesla. So Ford was doing super slow manual process. But by changing and doing a streamlined solution, they were able to mitigate risk, which led to, I don't know what the big outcome would be. This takes a little bit of work to work through it. Don't get me wrong. This isn't just plug and play. But if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. At a high level, your company helps target personas and achieve. Okay, so this is kind of your value proposition right here. Once again, interest CTA. This is another version of an interest CTA, selling the conversation, not the meeting. Would achieving XYZ outcome help your team deliver on its initiative? I really like that, guys. I really like that. I have not been doing this. And now that I read through this, I'm really thinking like I can improve my own practice a lot, and I've sent tens of thousands of emails. Let's see, guys. Okay, pre-meeting email. This is big. If you're an SDR out there, here's something you can do. Follow the details and be very meticulous. If you're setting up meetings for an account executive, send follow-up reminders to the prospect and CC on the account executive, because that will undoubtedly increase your trust and respect with them and increase your op conversion rate. So send the pre-meeting email if you're an SDR. And if you're an account executive, you of course should be sending the pre-meeting email. So I'm not going to go too deep into this. I actually have a template of this for myself. It's just looking forward to our call at XYZ time. Here's a resource I think you would find interesting. A lot more that goes into this, so you guys can dive into it if you want. But here it is right here, just so you have a look into it. Post-meeting follow-up. I have started using this. Guys. I don't just preach. I practice what I preach. I have used this, and it's super clean and concise. Subject line, seller company. So your company name, call summary. Hi, first name. I enjoyed our call today, and I hope you did too. Here are the top values we went over. Benefit 1, benefit 2. This took me a little bit of time to do. Guys, all of these emails take some strategic thinking. It's not mindless, and I think that's what I struggle with emails, because I want it to just be mindless a lot of the time. But just note that you send the follow-up, you send next steps, you be very clear. Hey, here's some resources to review. If I'm a buyer and I got this email, I'm saying send me the contract, bottom line. That's a great follow-up email right there. Multi-threading. Multi-threading means if you meet with the human resources manager, if you meet with a low-level person manager, you need to get to the DM. What does DM stand for? Comment down below. What does the DM stand for? But you can't over-involve them. You don't want to risk going over someone's head. DM stands for decision maker, by the way. I have to share that. if you're meeting with someone who's not the decision maker, you need to get clarity to the decision maker. And I think that this is a really interesting way. And they have a graph here. So small, medium business win rates are significantly lower when decision makers aren't involved in deals. So look at this, guys. The numbers speak for itself. If you are working with a low-level prospect who's not the decision maker, ask them who ultimately is responsible for making this decision. Who is signing the contract? Who else cares about this process? Ask these questions, and that will help you understand who this person is and see what you can do. Even get a warm introduction from your champion. Maybe they're a cheerleader, but figure out who's important, multi-thread them in. This is something, as an account executive, a year into my role here, I'm really trying to learn. So just note that this is really important. Figure out how to multi-thread. Multi-threading, looping the decision maker back in. A lot of the time, the prospect or customer will say, set up time, we're going to do a demo. You'll do a demo, and then all of a sudden they'll say, yeah, Trent, we're going to do an internal discussion and we'll get back to you. And you're thinking in your head, okay, what reservations or concerns do you have about moving forward? But you may or may not say it, and you say, okay, great, I'll send you the follow-up. Here's an example of how you can send the follow-up. You always got to get the decision maker back in. As an update, the team feedback has been very positive, and we surfaced great use cases and potential results. We're now preparing for an executive presentation. We'd like to loop you in. We'd like to loop you in with you to showcase. I don't know if that makes sense. To showcase the insights and projected impact on your business, plus get your input. So we're not doing a passive ask. How does schedule look for XYZ time? Use specific call to action. Guys, a lot to this here. This is really good stuff here. Multi-threading. Champion prep call. So I didn't really understand this. They're bought in. Time to call in a favor to boost your odds of success with the C-suite. So if you guys have an important upcoming meeting with an executive team and you have a champion, meet with your champion ahead of time and ask, what internal feedback do you have? What have you seen anything from another vendor that you haven't seen from us? Get their feedback and prep for the champion. You want to be very clear in your communication, set an agenda. So this really does that, but you don't want to go too deep into it as well. Negotiation. Here's something. I don't even want to share this template with you guys. Don't negotiate via email. That's what it's saying. The finish line is in sight. Use this email template to fast forward through haggling and get your deal signed. Hi, first name. Totally get where you're coming from. So if the person tries to ask for a discount or like blah, 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 let's hop on a quick call to align pricing with your budget plus answer any of your questions. I'm sure we can knock this out in 9 minutes. I like that, guys. I have used this and it works. I don't know if I would do 9 minutes, maybe do 10 or 15, but this is good. Also, never give discounts via email. Always set up time to talk and say, if I give you this discount, then I expect you to sign by XYZ date. We got some deal emails, ask for a specific time. I like that right there. Finally, closing. This will be the last one, handoff, referral. We're going to do closing as the final one. For all of you closers out there, coffee is not only for closers. Water is for closers as well, and so is this channel. So if you've been enjoying this video, if you're interested in more sales content, make sure to drop a subscribe to the channel now. Closing. This is the most crucial step of your deal. Proceed with caution or risk having weeks of painstaking work crumble before your eyes. Ouch. Send to the decision maker. So this would be Qualtrics proposal. Hey, decision maker. Great catching up today. I'm sending a quick note to share your Tesla proposals we reviewed today. Also, I just sent an invite for us to connect date time to review questions and finalize. Looking forward to it. Okay. I like this, guys. I'm actually going to use this tomorrow. I have a deal in mind that I'm going to use this tomorrow for. It's all about urgency. It's all about getting it done. These were the email templates. Go check out Gong for more sales content. Subscribe to this channel for more sales content. If you're still trying to figure out what DM stands for direct message. Hit me up on LinkedIn if you want to direct message me. I am the decision maker, okay? I just farted. That's the end of the video. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.